This was no random act, but a calculated plan of hate. It was a hate crime.
Sabrina Aston has been journaling about her son since November 20th, 2022, the day he died.
We miss him every single day.
Daniel Aston was one of 5 killed in the shooting at Club Q in Colorado Springs.
Dressed in tactical gear, he managed to kill Daniel, Derek, Kelly, Ashley, and Raymond.
Sabrina is reading one of her most recent journal entries. This is also her victim impact statement.
Anderson Aldridge took him away. But when I mentioned his name, that's the first time I've used his name since since all this happened. I'll just call him the monster. I journal every day, and most of the time I just put F-head or AA. I just can't say his name, but...
She also thought the shooter, who is non-binary, was going to plead guilty to federal hate crime charges.
I was just flabbergasted. I really was. I don't know why he's pleading not guilty.
The confusion caused some mixed feelings for Sabrina and her family.
Because we'd been told he was going to plead out, just plead guilty. And maybe they're just starting out that way and then they'll plead later on.
Which is most likely the case, because these court documents show the shooter and U.S. prosecutors made a plea deal before the hearing. Under the agreement, the shooter will plead guilty to all federal hate crime and firearm charges. And in exchange, the U.S. will not seek the death penalty. A lot has changed since Daniel was murdered.
It's so hard to describe how you feel.
So Sabrina turns to her journal to find the words. But she's ready for this chapter to be over.
I want him to rot. And I don't want him to have any special privileges.
Again, the shooter entered a not guilty plea today, but because of that agreement, we expect them to change their plea at a later date. Sabrina says while she is ready for that, she's also ready to go to trial and face the person who murdered her son.
It's a good way to process things, to write it down, but just think of today, the wave of emotions.
She says it was a lot to take in, and knowing that the death penalty now is off the table, she was actually just starting to accept that as one of the options. Before she didn't even think that was an option, but now she thinks it's probably one of the better choices.
Okay, thank you, Brianna.